Hey y'all, it's Loren LoRosa from The Breakfast Club. Sorry to interrupt, but y'all know how I do. So I'm here to talk about Top Dog Law. Y'all hear Top Dog Law all over your radio, and I know by now that if you want top dollar, you should also know this. You gotta call Top Dog Law if it's about your car accident. Don't let these little family lawyers finesse you into a little check. Shouldn't nothing be little this season. Remember, for any serious accident, injury case, Top Dog Law gets you top dollar. So make sure you call today to find out what your car accident, your slip and fall, or your construction accident case could really be worth. And calling Top Dog Law is completely free also. It's free for a consultation. Call Top Dog Law today to see if your case is eligible for compensation with no money down. So make sure y'all go holla at my dogs, no pun intended, over at Top Dog Law. That's Top Dog Law on Instagram and topdoglaw.com. Now, let's get back to The Breakfast Club. Alrighty, y'all. So Diddy back in court again this week, but right now there's going to be some explosive testimonies today, including Capricorn Clark. That we will hear from a man named Lance.
Who is Capricorn Clark for people that don't know?
Capricorn Clark is a previous personal assistant of Diddy's, but she has come up in this case, in this hearing, almost every single day that I've been there, because she was around and has witnessed so much. She is the woman that Kid Cudi alleges called her and said, hey, Diddy's at your house. She's the woman that is alleging that Diddy made her get in the car with him to go to Kid Cudi's house. She was, the person that knew about the burner phone that Cassie talked about, that she would talk to Kid Cudi on. She knows a lot of the things. And everyone has mentioned her. So now we will finally get to hear from her about her testimony, her experiences. But before we get there today, Diddy's team, Brian Steele, his attorney, is actually asking for Kid Cudi's testimony to be thrown out. What he's saying is that because so they're saying that it's unfair and it's legally irrelevant. They're saying, number one, that there's no proof of what Kid Cudi is saying, that everything is his opinion or what he believes, but there's no evidence, there's no confession from Diddy, and there's no actual receipts.
There's no evidence, but it was a car that was blown up.
So I'm get to that part. So they're also saying that because he has no personal knowledge of seeing Diddy there himself,
no eyewitness.
It's all speculation. Now, to answer your question, you're talking about a car was blown up, so there should be DNA, there should be all these things, right? That's what you're asking?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Well, if a car, what Diddy's team is saying is, if a car is blown up and you're going to say that Diddy was lying to you, because remember Kid Cudi said, I asked him about it and I knew he was lying to me. He said that on the stand. If you're going to say that, you need something hard to back that up.
Pause.
Exactly. To back it up. So you need you need something more. Like, we need more evidence. We can't just go off of what you think happened because of all these events that you just put together and said, you know what, he has to be responsible for it. That's what they're saying. Now, getting to the car. So Lance Jimenez, he is a City of LA Fire Department arson investigator. So he's going to get on the stand and testify to responding to the car arson of Kid Cudi's. And they're going to get into this whole DNA conversation, because Brian Steele, when Kid Cudi was on the stand, tried to get to the point that there was DNA found on a bottle in the car on Kid Cudi's Porsche that was blown up, and there was DNA evidence on that bottle that linked to a woman.
That makes no sense to me, because I saw people keep saying that on social media, and I'm like, what, y'all thought that Diddy threw the car, the bottle himself?
That's what I was going to say. You really think you're going to see, you think Diddy got out, cut open the top, and then dropped it in there?
You think Diddy got his hands dirty?
Like, come on.
Like, that's what y'all really think happened?
I mean, I think they're leaning into one of those, well, for Diddy's team, they're going to lean into if the glove don't fit. Like, if you don't have the physical evidence that puts him there at the crime doing it, then what are we even talking about right now?
That's true. Unless it's a woman that comes out and says, hey, I was paid by Diddy to do X, Y, Z.
Then that's a whole nother conversation. Now, here's the thing. So when the arson detective or investigator gets on the stand, the government is asking the judge to not allow Brian Steele, Diddy's attorney, to even be able to bring up that DNA. And the reason why they're asking that is because they're saying that even though he'll be able to testify that he responded and there were reports taken, he, according to this document that they submitted, the investigator says that they only recovered partial female DNA, and he can't speak to what partial female DNA even means. They also say that he did not personally collect the swabs, he didn't perform the testing himself, and he has no personal knowledge regarding the testing other than what was included in the report. And they're saying that the report basically is like, it's not a full report, so it doesn't talk about any other DNA that would have been possibly found. And they're alleging that this bottle could have went through multiple hands before it got to the car, where then the car was blown up. So
was it a Ciroc bottle?
It just said like a glass, like a.
Was it a De Leon bottle?
they ain't say that. If it would have been that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have did that, I'm sure. And I'm sure Diddy didn't do it himself, so all the DNA just makes no sense. Like Charlamagne said, unless somebody's going to come out and say Diddy paid me to do that, like this is
I'll tell you one thing, though. I'm surprised Diddy team ain't raising hell about Capricorn Clark taking the stand.
But that starts today, right?
Capricorn Clark gonna bring it. I'm telling y'all right now.
People are, if you've been paying attention to this case, even though you might not know her as like a celebrity name,
right,
people are really looking forward to her testimony because she has a lot that she can speak to. They're gonna want to lean into like, you know, conversation about his Diddy's alleged jealous rages that he would go when it came to Cassie, the Kid Cudi stuff that we just talked about. There were instances with the woman Gina that Diddy used to date, that another personal assistant said that he witnessed that made him allegedly quit, and he said he went to Capricorn Clark and told her, hey, I'm quitting because this is what I just saw. So Capricorn Clark is a very important witness for both sides because she has seen a lot, and if you can debunk a lot of what she's going to say, you can prove either Diddy right or wrong, and if you can get her on the stand and she fills in a lot of the holes that we've been hearing.
She was Diddy's assistant, right?
She was, one of Diddy's. He had like 4 or 5 assistants, but she was one. It seems like she was like the go-to for a lot of things. She also, there were conversations that Cassie mentioned on the stand where she was involved in like the whole like escorts and getting them to different places allegedly and all these things. So
did we ever find out if these people who are testifying for prosecution are getting immunity?
So I was told by a source that there are conversations about that, and then one of the personal assistants that was on the stand, his name was George Kaplan, he said, I don't want to be here, I still love Diddy even though this is a very complicated relationship. And they asked him, well, why are you here? Are you receiving some sort of like immunity? He didn't say yes definitely, but he said that there was a conversation with his attorney, but he couldn't recall the conversation. That is the closest I've gotten to an answer.
If you're giving all these people immunity, of course they're going to say what they want to say because they're not going to be charged, right? Yeah. They're more likely to represent for the prosecution team than the defense if you're going to give me immunity.
Yes and no, because I mean, if you're immune, you just say whatever. Who's going to do something to you?
You know what I was wondering too? How many of these people were actually Diddy's co-defendants, but then they flipped before trial? Because you know it's a RICO, right? So when it's a RICO, it got to be more than one person. I wonder how many of these people were actually his co-Ds, but then they decided to give testimony against him.
Well, I would assume a lot, even with Cassie. I mean, anybody that's involved. Maybe CC with Capricorn Clark, maybe James Cruz, whatever.
CC's Capricorn Clark.
Oh,
it's CC and KK.
Who's KK?
Christina.
It's too many KKs, CCs.
It's a lot of. He had a lot
when
of big.
When is Booty gonna hit the stand though?
Who?
No.
Booty.
Because the booty ain't hit the stand.
Yeah.
It's only
Not
week
me
3.
Googling. I went to Google booty witness stand. Like, did I miss a witness? Don't drive me crazy.
You had Punisher on the stage. You had, what's the other one's name on the stage?
That was Booty, yeah.
That was Booty.
Yeah, but that's the booty that just was there to participate. I'm talking about the booty that got penetrated. I know that's coming soon.
Christina Karan is another person that's KK, and then CC is Capricorn Clark. And you really had me looking up booty because I'm like, well, how did I miss booty?
How did I miss Booty?
There's more to this because Dawn Richard, you guys remember she took the stand?
Yes.
Now, Q from Making the Band has come out with some claims against her and all of this as well.
Did
too.
Q tell us why he was crying yet?
He did tell us why he was crying, but we need to bring it back in the next hour because there's audio and I want to make sure that we can play. But he finally revealed why he was crying about Puff and why he was up allegedly. And why, remember he was up here, he said y'all gonna find out later. He didn't want to talk about it. Yeah. So we'll get into it at the top of the next hour.
All right. We'll get to that next. Charlamagne, who you giving your booty to, your donkey to?
Shut up. Before after the hour, we need a couple of young brothers, Joshua Thomas Coleman and Abdul Boyd, to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with them.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club. Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.